The day I fought beside humans and discovered true strength. I am Thrival of the Kit Harry, veteran of 20 campaigns. My carapace is cracked from plasma fire, my mandibles scarred by blade duels. I believed I knew the measure of warriors. I had fought beside the insectoid Hesh, whose swarms never faltered, and the reptilian Drak, who carved lines of fire across 100 worlds. But the day I fought beside humans, I realized I had never truly understood strength. 1. The Fall of Jernus. The Creel descended on Jernus Prime like carrion crows. Their warships blotted out the sky, their troops poured into the valleys, and our defenses shattered within days. I commanded a Kit Harry division, hardened veterans who had faced Creel before. But nothing prepared us for the ferocity of this assault. We fought, we bled, we fell back. The Creel advanced like an endless tide. My soldiers began to despair. Then the humans arrived. Their transports were crude things, scarred metal, ungainly frames. We thought them late reinforcements, doomed to be cut apart in orbit. Instead, they carved through Creel lines like predators through herd beasts, landing in fire and thunder. And from their ships poured soldiers unlike any I had seen. 2. First impressions. Humans were small, soft-skinned, fragile-looking. They lacked claws, fangs, armored plates. My mandibles clicked in disbelief. These creatures were to be our allies. But then I saw their eyes. Forward-facing, sharp, alight with something that made even my hardened carapace shiver. They moved with purpose, shouting strange cries, slamming metal against metal as if daring the Creel to face them. And the Creel, who had sent my warriors fleeing, hesitated. The humans charged. 3. Fire and fury. Where my soldiers fought in formation, the humans fought like storms. They surged forward in packs, covering one another, moving always toward the enemy, never back. Their weapons roared with fire and thunder. Their voices rose in song, in laughter, even as plasma bolts tore around them. I saw one fall, chest burned through. Another dragged him to cover, snarling, still firing. I saw one lose a limb, and yet rise, clutching blade in the other hand, screaming defiance as he threw himself into Creel ranks. It was not discipline alone. It was something wilder. Something deeper. We Kit Harry fight because duty demands it. Humans fought because something in them hungered for the struggle. 4. Nightfall. That night, we regrouped in the shattered ruins of Jernus's capital. My warriors huddled in exhaustion. We whispered of retreat, of surrender. But the humans lit fires, passed bottles of strange drink, and sang. Their voices rose into the night, coarse and raw, but full of life. They sang of home, of victory, of fallen comrades. They laughed, even as blood still stained their armor. Some wept openly, yet even their tears became fuel for more song. I asked one of them, scarred, weary, smiling, how they could sing after such slaughter. He looked at me with eyes both tired and fierce. Because if we don't, the bastards win twice. I did not sleep that night. I listened. And I realized that strength was not only muscle and steel. It was spirit that refused to break. 5. The longest day. The next dawn, the Creel struck with everything they had. Waves of soldiers, war beasts, armored crawlers. My division faltered. The Creel pushed us back. And then the humans rose. They did not wait for orders. They ran to the breach, shouting, firing, throwing themselves into the storm. They moved with reckless unity, each protecting the other, each daring the enemy to break them. And where they stood, the line held. I remember one moment clear as crystal. A Creel beast, massive and armored, burst through the barricade. My warriors scattered. But a single human leapt onto its back, clung with bleeding hands, and drove explosives into its hide. The blast shook the street. The human was gone, but the beast fell, and the creel with it. The humans cheered, not in mourning, but in triumph. They honored their comrade by pressing forward, fueled by his sacrifice. And my warriors, inspired, rallied. We charged again, side by side with the humans. 6. The turning tide. Hours became eternity. The creel pressed harder, but humanity refused to break. I watched them fight beyond exhaustion, beyond wounds that should have killed them. They endured pain as though it were nothing, using it as fuel for rage. When ammunition ran dry, they fought with blades. When blades broke, they fought with fists, rocks, teeth. The creel, for the first time, faltered. I saw fear in their alien eyes as humans screamed defiance, charging through fire with nothing but broken steel. By dusk, the creel retreated. Not defeated by numbers or strategy, but by will. By sheer, unyielding human will. 7. Aftermath. The battlefield was silent save for groans of the wounded. My carapace dripped with blood, some mine, some enemy. Around me, my soldiers stared at the humans in awe. They were battered, broken, scarred. But they still stood. Some still laughed. Others tended wounds with steady hands. They spoke softly of fallen comrades, but their eyes shone with pride, not despair. I approached their commander, a weary woman with soot across her face. "You fought like no warriors I have seen," I told her. "Where does such strength come from?" She looked at me, silent for a long time. Then she said, "From knowing we don't have the right to stop. Not while anyone still needs us." 8. What I learned. That was the day I understood. Strength is not unbroken armor. It is not perfect discipline. It is not fearlessness. Strength is to break and rise again. To bleed and laugh. To suffer and still stand. The humans taught me that. I, thrival of the Kit Harry, who thought myself hardened by war, discovered true strength only when I fought beside them. And I knew then why the galaxy whispered of humans with awe and fear. They were not the strongest in body, not the most advanced in weapons, but they were the ones who refused to fall.